Hello, my name is Vincent, and I am the author of Zen and the Art of Resistance Training, a yogic and scientific approach to weight training. As you know by now, if you've gone through my different clips, you know that I have a very different perspective of weight training, both mentally, physically, and spiritually, emotionally, the whole ball of wax compared to most people. Now you also know, unless this is the first time that you came to the first clip you went to, is I have over 40 some years of training and experience and experimentation and research, and I've trained hundreds and hundreds of people, many of who are world champion athletes, many of them world-class athletes, and a few American champions in sports like Olympic lifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, figure skating, swimming, so forth and so on. Now, I've also trained with some of my mentors are some of the most knowledgeable people on the planet, although even by their admission, some of my eccentric ideas that they didn't think of, and I came upon, it's kind of odd, I came upon many of my ideas separate from, say, Cecil Phillips and so forth. Now, Cecil Phillips met Bill Pearl in the Navy. They trained together. Cecil Phillips was an employee of Bill Pearl's and trained with Bill Pearl, and he trained people for Bill Pearl in Bill Pearl's gyms. Cecil was a champion Olympic lifter, champion powerlifter, champion bodybuilder, very knowledgeable, massage therapist, and a physical therapist, and also a champion archer, a man that wears many hats. Now, Cecil, we like to say in our community that Cecil has forgotten, not just Cecil Phillips and Mr. Radcliffe, Bob Radcliffe, who teaches at the LCC, Lane Community College. Both those guys have trained, they have forgotten more than many of us put together have remembered. And even though Cecil and Bob and nobody that I know of have come up with some of the viewpoints, some of the ideas and insights, the training that I have, if it had not been for their influence and their teaching, unlikely I would have came across many of these ideas. So anyways, I just want to pay homage to them, both Bob Radcliffe and Cecil Phillips. And again, this book is Zen and the Art of Resistance Training. One of my heroes, I'm always trying to plug him because I think everybody would benefit by Frank Zane, who I wish I looked like. Now, I believe that a person like this, Frank Zane, if he weighed 175, 5'9", with this body, even though he's a bodybuilder and he's very strong, he's not really concerned with superhuman strength. Even though he is superhuman by the average person's standards, all around athletic and so forth. And he looks pretty much like this in his 50s too, or maybe even 60. Very, very well built. But a body like this, in my estimation, could bench 1,000, 2,000 pounds a ton. The human body is strong. As strong. I mean, even chimpanzees are far stronger than humans. Can be are trainable, and they can increase their strength by weightlifting. Now, in my mind, our muscles aren't any different. Now, you look at the attachment. The chimpanzee's bicep attachment may come down to here instead of to here. So he has certain leverage advantages that Frank Zane doesn't have. Most people don't have. But the muscle fibers themselves, for the chimp and for Frank Zane or for me or you, should be every bit as effective. There's no reason why it can't be every bit as effective. And that's when we get talking about muscle composition and the possibility of why that's true. So in this chapter 16, muscle composition, body types, leverage, and other aspects of strength. We all heard a term, or most of us have heard the term, fast twitch muscle fibers. And then very few people have heard the term fast twitch fatigue resistant muscle fibers. And then most of us have heard about slow twitch muscle fibers. There's actually 5 subcategories. Scientists said there's 5 subcategories, like 2 types of slow twitch, 3 types of fast twitch, and so forth. Now, fast twitch means the muscle fibers have more mitochondria, actually more myoglobin, and are innovated more for speed, have more motor neuron plates and so forth, so on, and they're red. Fast muscle fibers tend to be more red. Slow twitch muscle fibers tend to be more white. There's less myoglobin and so forth. Or no, wait, I believe that's the opposite. Anyways, muscle fibers. Some studies have shown that muscle fibers actually have a continuum up to 40 types. This is recent research done by Japanese. This was not the research that was done during the time I put the book together. And this is the theory that I had, is that if we don't have a continuum of muscle fibers, we could create a continuum. Now, hypertrophy is when your muscles swell up, just get larger. You may not get any more muscle fibers put in, but you have more of substrates and more fluid, more water, more maybe a few more organelles and more nutrients and substrates fill into the muscle, more glycogen. Your muscles will produce more glycogen, so your muscles can get bigger just by that. And that helps with the tissue leverage and everything. That not only will you have a bigger muscle, but you also become stronger because of the inner tissue leverage. Hyperplasia is a phenomena that's supposedly where the muscle splits. So if you have a balloon that's carrying, oh, let's say you have a balloon, and a balloon that's carrying, let's see, where are we here? Do I have the, nope, I don't have the right, here we go. Bear with me. Okay, so if we have, I'm going to go in here. Okay. I don't, where am I? I'm trying to, no. Oh, I see. All right. Let me go back off the text with the text. Yeah. Oh, this is disconcerting. Anyways, basically, just imagine a balloon with several ropes. You got several ropes on a balloon, and let's say you have one rope here, there, one rope here, one rope here, one rope here. Got a big balloon. Well, a muscles, if you could distribute the load between more fibers instead of 4 fibers, 8 fibers, it's going to be a stronger load, and those fibers are able to shorten. Like the original fibers, then you're going to have a lot more, generate theoretically double strength. And so we'll get more into muscle structures. We have different muscles are structured different ways. You have fusiform, you have pennates, and so forth. And for instance, let me bring some of that up so you can look at it. Let's look at that. We'll talk about fast twitch, slow twitch. Fast twitch muscle fibers are the white. I'm sorry, I got that reversed. White muscle fibers are low myoglobin, have fewer capillaries than the slow twitch, and are suited for fast, forcible, explosive contractions. And they're anaerobic, and their rate of fatigue is fast, and that's because the myoglobin content's low, and the mitochondria are few, and these organelles are involved in the production and storage of ATP. Now, my thing is to try to build up, I believe, through specific training, and I've seen this, and there's evidence to show this. You can create more mitochondria per muscle cell, make the mitochondria you have and the ones you create become more effective in storing ATP faster and uploading more. So you want to improve your energy systems. You want to build up the carrying capacity of the generators, the facilitators of ATP. And so then we talk about the want to make your slow twitch muscle fibers more efficient. And okay, and one thing I want to share, and this is a fact I'd like to share, science has determined that rats have 16 different types of muscle fibers, up to our 5. And this interests me for a couple of reasons, because at one time science thought we only had 2 or 3, and now it's 5. And I just want to say how they finally determined this, and how did they determine rats have 16 different types. And again, I recently told you that the Japanese figured there's 40 in the continuum. Okay, so that's what we want to start thinking of. Now we have fusiform, like with the muscle fibers. We're talking about muscle structure. Fusiform, where the muscle fibers are parallel, and the pennate types: unipennate, bipennate, multipennate. And some of these are more structured for power, some for speed, like the fusiform, or more speed, like the bicep muscles. And then, you know, the other muscles are more for, well, more for power and for stability. They have the pennate muscles have shorter contraction range as opposed to the bicep muscles, which have longer contraction range. But they're packed with more muscle fibers. And they're better suited for power than speed, although some types can be good for both. And some schools of thought say that your training will be optimal if you train your body accordingly to the functions that particular muscle is best designed for. I believe that it's good to train each particular muscle group according to its structure, but I think it's also possible to train those muscles to go beyond their basic framework. Okay? Now, here's something I like to quote. Albert Einstein said the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reasons for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when we contemplate the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. And it's enough if anyone tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity. That's Albert Einstein for you. And so, basically, I want to say thank you, and I want you to remember this is Zen and the Art of Resistance Training, and buy all Frank Zane's stuff. I just love his stuff. He has newsletters. You can join his group, subscribe to his newsletters. Good stuff. All right, bye for now.